Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Success Mentorship class number 367. And our topic for today is achieving your financial goals. As you know, all of our topics, or many of our topics, are based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And also on all of the life experiences we've had. I think a lot of us are probably learn more from life experiences than from books. I invite you to visit our website, herbertharris.com, www.herbertharris.com, and there you can get a copy of the 12 Universal Laws of Success and learn about many of our other products to help you be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire. So before we get started with our topic today, let us get centered and do our meditation to separate us from the outside world and get us focused on the inside world and the message we have today. So let's close our outer eyes, open our inner eyes, take a deep breath and hold it. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath and hold it. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that. I am at peace with myself. Just let that peace sink in. And in this state of peace and relaxation, our minds are open, receptive, and ready to learn. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And so it is. Wow. This day, this topic, achieving your financial goals, I really wanted to work at and focus on early in the year. Think about this now. You know, our way of computing time is that we are at the second Saturday of the third month of the year. And that means that 2 months and a week are already in the books. I love to look at time this way because it gives us a sense of where we've been and also a sense of where we're going. So we have less than 10 months to achieve our goals. And one of our central goals is our financial goals because without finances, many of our other goals become problematic. I love to begin with a quote, and this is a quote from Reverend Johnny Coleman, a powerful minister out of Chicago, a New Thought minister, a good friend of Reverend Ike's. And actually, her church, the Brooklyn Truth Center, was where I gave my first lecture many, many years ago. And her quote was this: money is the getting potential of your self image. I'll say that again. Money is the getting potential of your self energy, of your self image. So it's not just about paper money or even gold and silver, diamonds. It's really about an aura that you project. That in this time now, money and finances are critical because without a sound financial foundation, many of your goals can be undermined and if not completely eliminated. So money is also an energy. It's a vibration. And when you get that sense of a vibration, you understand that it's not about the paper money, it's about the aura that you project, the energy that you project. You know, I always travel suited and booted. And many times when I walk up, even though I have my ticket, you can check in with the computer with the little screen there. But I always walk up to the counter and have the lady check my ticket and whatnot. And invariably, very often, one of the what do you call it, attendants will say, "Oh, Mr. Harris, wow, I love the way you look today. I love that. I love to see a man. Listen, if we have an extra seat in first class, I'll bump you up." Didn't even ask her. And so many times, how you appear, your dress, the way you carry yourself, the way you project in your voice and your intonation impacts how people respond to you. And so you can get things based on your aura, based on your energy that other people have to pay for. And that's a great power that we have, that when we understand that it's not just about paper money, gold or silver, but that money is a vibration from within you that interacts with the world and the world responds to you accordingly. You radiate abundance. I very often people say, "Man, you look like money." Like you're rarely. I only own one pair of jeans, and they're so old they actually have buttons. Okay. So I have this thought, and it works for me. It may or may not, but I feel that people relate to you based on how you appear to them. Whether it's right or wrong, we don't even deal with that. Like you should be able to wear whatever you please. Yes, fine. But the world responds to you based on the world's level of consciousness. As they say, beauty is in the sight of the beholder. And so I've found that how you dress, how you appear, how you walk, how you carry yourself, how you shake hands with a person is currency, is money. It can get you things that other people can't even get with a credit card. And so, what is the secret? We talk about achieving our financial goals for this year, but we want to look at this from the inside out. The goals are really the outside in, but whether you achieve them or not is really an inside job. And it really depends on a number of things. It depends on you having the right mindset about money, about finances. You're having the right attitude. You're having the right relationship. You're having the right plans. And when you put all this together, you can create within you a dynamic that attracts anything you need. I love to also think about different cultures have different attitudes about money. You can often determine a person's attitude about money based on how they handle inheritances. I'm in the South, and we have in the South, you often find that the young people leave to go somewhere else to make their money. There may not be as many jobs here as there are in like some of the bigger centers. And often the real estate, the parents' home, the homestead is the a great part of the value of the net worth of the family. And many times these inheritances, whether it's property, whether it's money, come into the hands of younger people. And, and often they'll have a wrong mindset. Many people look at an inheritance almost like a lottery ticket. And so when you get the money from an insurance policy, they go out and buy a car, a watch, take a trip. Other people, though, look at an inheritance as a transfer of wealth. And so when we think about this idea of inheritance, there are certain cultures that look at value, inheritance, as taking something of value, property, savings, money, stocks, bonds, taking something of value Number one, protecting it. Number two, maintaining it. Number three, growing it. And then number four, passing it on to the next generation. This is the key to intergenerational wealth. And so all of this now comes down to how you achieve your financial goals. As they say, that song, Papa was a rolling stone, all he left us was alone. That's a terrible thought. I mean, when you really think about it, the scripture says that the value of a man, can be how he handles his heirs, what he passes on to other people. So this thought of achieving your financial goals is critical. It's more than having money at the end of the month, but it's really about creating a legacy that impacts you and everybody you deal with. So what are the steps? How do we achieve financial goals? Well, number one, we have to develop a wealth mindset. And so we have to look at money now as something that serves a higher purpose. It's not just about material gain, but money must serve a higher purpose. It has a consciousness. I love the people, they say, well, they're a philanthropist. And, somehow we often feel like, man, a philanthropist must be a millionaire who gives away. But a philanthropist is a person who has a mindset of service, of helping other people. So when we start talking about your wealth mindset, it's about understanding money from the point of view of it has a higher purpose beyond just material gain. And so it's important to ask that question, why must I achieve financial success? Why must I achieve my financial goals? And this why is very important because it is your why that keeps you in the game. If you don't desire something badly enough, then you will probably not achieve it. The idea of desiring in a deep state and with deep conviction creates a vibration within you that literally attracts the things you want. It's really not about making money, it's about attracting money. And so when you look at your why is it important to achieve financial success? Why is it important to achieve your financial goals? Well, there are a number of reasons. You need to provide for your family. As a patriarch, your children come to you, your family comes to you. I guarantee you that most of you who are up this time of the morning, at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, especially coming in from California, I guarantee that you are the go-to person in your family. That whenever there's a problem, whenever there's a challenge, you're the go-to person in your family. And those of you on our Zoom, if you're the go-to person in your family, put a 10 in the chat, okay? And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot of 10s because the fact that you have a commitment about building and creating success for yourself, a commitment strong enough to say, get up out the bed. Let's do something. The fact that you have that type of commitment, that means that you have a deep desire to accomplish whatever you want. Money is important to do the things you care about. I love LeBron James because, he sort of defied the odds. He didn't go to college, normally, and I value college. So, but normally that route, you go to college and you do your 4 years there and you get into, your sports career and then you go into the pros. He went into the pros right out of high school at 18. And I know at the time I remember thinking, wow, I don't know if he's had the seasoning to really be able to handle what's going to come to him based on his level of skill. But what happened was he surrounded himself with people who understood the deal, who understood the game and had good advisors. And you look back over these last, 20 years of his career, he hasn't been arrested. He hasn't beat anybody up. He's literally sent over 3,000 kids to college. He's invested in schools in his neighborhood. And so maybe this is a part of your why. The bigger your why, the more passionate you can be about it. Another why, freedom, fulfillment. You know, most of us are creative people. We want to do something, we want to be something, we want to have something. We have something to offer to the world. And so solving this money thing can put you in a position of freedom and fulfillment. Your why may also be to help others, to give back, to do what you can to change the world. So, this first step in achieving your goals for this year is critical. When you set your why becomes the source of your desire. And the deeper your why, the greater your level of desire. The greater your level of desire, the greater the odds are that you will accomplish and achieve financial success. Step two, you have to know your numbers. So, what do you mean, Doc, know my numbers? You have to look at your finances from a very impersonal point of view. As they say, liars may figure, but figures don't lie. And so, when you look at know your numbers, the goal of understanding your numbers is to solve the riddle of survival. I want to read a passage to you from page 153 in the 12 Universal Laws of Success, and it's called Mastering the Riddle of Survival. As you progress along the path, and the path is your journey to your desires, to your goals, to your dreams, as you progress along the path, you become keenly aware of how much time and effort is devoted to generating sufficient income to meet the needs of you and your family. This challenge of your financial survival is an important test of your knowledge, of your skills, of your determination, and of your self discipline. Wow. If you do not meet this challenge and master it, you put a severe limitation on your ability to achieve your goals and realize your purpose. In fact, as long as you are living paycheck to paycheck or are dependent on someone or something for assistance, you will find it difficult to give the time and focus necessary to accomplish your goals. It is critical that you meet and overcome this financial challenge and thereby solve the riddle of survival. To solve the riddle of survival means that you have achieved a level of financial independence in which the fruits of your labors are sufficient that you can continue to live indefinitely at a level that is pleasing to you without further effort required. So, this idea of solving the riddle of survival is to achieve that level of success, achieve that level of financial independence, that the income from what you create, the income from your business, from your created product is sufficient to maintain you at that lifestyle that's comfortable for you. You notice many people. I remember when the Beatles hit and they made they made an impact. And if you notice, many people, when they achieve great success, they'll go on a spiritual path. Because once your income is congruent with your consciousness, one of the things you learn is that it's important that you grow more, that you understand more. So know your numbers. Once you know your numbers, your financial needs, how much you need for food, clothing, and shelter, for health care, for transportation, for education, for investment. You see, when you can do all of these things and put the numbers down on paper, it's going to shock you. My coach, Dave Smile, when we were beginning this journey, for example, with the Great Discovery, he shared a training with me, and it was talking about how to achieve this this uh, this level of financial independence, how to lay it out, numbers, the money for travel, the money for vacation. In other words, you equated money, financial results, with a vision of how you would be, what you would do, what you would have. It was all a vision. And once you understand this idea of solving the riddle of survival, then you're now prepared to move on and do greater things. One of the interesting thoughts about this riddle of survival idea is that you understand seed corn. And as a farmer, your seed corn was that corn that you set aside to plant for the crop for next year. And so to understand your finances not from the point of view of immediate consumption, but from the point of view of future possibilities, from the point of view of future investment, from the point of view of future needs. You can read about this in some of the books, but this idea now of laying out your solving the riddle of survival and understanding your number. I like to call it your ground zero. And the ground zero is that financial level that you must achieve to now put you in a harmonic relationship with everything that's good for you. So that you eliminate stress, you eliminate worry, and you are literally able to move along in a very comfortable manner. The third key is once you know your numbers, then now you can set clear, specific goals. So now your numbers determine your goals. At least it's ground zero for your goals. Your numbers say now that you accomplished this, then now you're free to achieve greater and greater goals. And then based on your goals, your financial goals that are specific and measurable and achievable and set in advance and relevant to where you are, you can now develop a realistic budget. There are a number of books on this, but think about this. Every business has a business plan, a budget. And in a business, if you don't follow your budget and execute your business plan, you go broke. You go into bankruptcy. In our lives, if we don't have a budget and follow our budget plan, our business plan, we don't achieve success. We'll stay on the rat reel. What do you call it? The rat race. You'll stay in the rat race, running and running and running and still not getting anywhere. So once you now have created a budget that supports your solving the riddle of survival, you can go to step 4, which is to develop an action plan that confirms and conforms to your budget. So now you know how much you have to make. You know when you have to make it. You develop a plan for how to make it. But this idea of having that action plan where you follow your budget is critical. This is often where the game is won or lost. So this plan should provide for you to manage your income, manage your expenses, to handle your debts, to maintain savings and emergency funds, to invest a part of what you save. Because the ultimate goal is to have your money taking care of you. You know, when you talk about trust fund babies, say, well, what's a trust fund baby? These are people whose income is generated by an outside source, somebody else's efforts. Okay? Well, if you're not a trust fund baby, you need to create your own trust fund, to create your own body of wealth that can solve the riddle of your survival. Once you have this action plan, step 5 is you have to execute it. And this is where the rubber hits the road. Because once you have that budget and the plan to achieve that budget and to realize that financial success and independence, if you don't follow your plan, you see, the thing about money is you know you want a loss pretty quickly. Okay, when you're in college or going to school and you don't study and you don't do what you're supposed to do, you don't really know you won or lost until the final exam. But in the real world, you know immediately whether you won or lost, whether you can pay your bills at the end of the month, whether they're coming to turn your stuff off or take your stuff away. And so you have to execute this plan with patience, realizing that it doesn't happen overnight, with passion, which goes back to your why. If that why is not strong, then you won't. When a bump in the road comes, you'll quit. But passion, execute that plan with persistence and execute that plan with discipline. This is where the rubber hits the road, folks. This is where you win or lose. So when you execute your plan, one of the key things, avoid lifestyle inflation. As you're beginning to have success, it's important to reward yourself, but don't overdo it. When you have success, reward yourself, but don't let your lifestyle suck up your income. I had a driver many years ago, driver Russell Hemphill. And Russell was one of those old time brothers, a guy who had a fourth grade education, went into the army at 14 years old. He had a life of his mother ran a numbers operation. And I mean, just if you read his life story, his mother killed somebody when he was nine, when Russell was 9 years old. In order to feed his brothers and sisters, he had to take over running his mother's numbers business and take care of her until she got out of jail. But Russell came back and he learned sales. He didn't have time to go to college. He came out of the war. He learned sales and he became a master salesman. And he used to say this. He said, I don't understand all this financial planning, but I know this. If your outflow exceeds your income, then your upkeep becomes your downfall. I say that again. If your outflow exceeds your income, in other words, if you're spending more than you're making, then your upkeep, the lifestyle that you want to project to the world, becomes your downfall. Whew. So executing your plan over these next 10 months can be the difference between realizing the dream or experiencing something you may not want. Invest wisely. Look at, there's a nice section in chapter 8, the law of value. And there's a nice little piece in it was saying that spend less than you earn, save what you do not spend, invest a portion of what you save to help you generate more. Spend less than you earn, save what you do not spend, invest a portion of what you save to help you generate more. There's a philosophy of the buckets. They have different buckets: your income bucket, your expense bucket, your health bucket, your emergency bucket. To treat that money like dividing up seeds in the great garden of life. And then when you can execute this plan, nothing is impossible. And then finally, step 5. And step 5 is really to keep going and growing. In other words, always stay green. Never get ripe. Someone once said, when you're ripe, you rot. When you're green, you grow. To always stay in a growth mindset. There's always more to learn. Steve Harvey said one day, he said, well, how do you become a millionaire? He says, well, you learn how to make $10. Then you learn how to make $10 10 times. That's $100. Now you learn how to make $100 10 times. That's $1,000. Now you learn how to make $1,000 10 times. That's $10,000. Now you learn how to make $10,000 10 times. That's 100,000. Now you learn how to make $100,000 10 times. But it all started with making 10 and achieving success along the way. So as you keep going and growing, eliminate those negative beliefs, limiting beliefs, beliefs that undermine you. Start to look at the higher order of financial achievement. In other words, understand things like abundance flows to those who appreciate it. So when you're in this growing and going or going and growing mindset, you always express gratitude. Oprah Winfrey said, whatever you are grateful for, you attract more. So understand that abundance flows to those who appreciate it. To shift from that scarcity mindset as you're growing. That doesn't happen overnight, but as you achieve more and more success along the way, you will find that your confidence grows. Your faith in yourself, your faith in the process grows. And as you do that, the key is persistence and consistency. Don't worry about the how. You see, many times the how we see from our level of consciousness, but the system of the universe operates from a higher level of consciousness. So you do your part, always like the farmer. The farmer doesn't understand not one iota about how the corn grows. The farmer understands that the farmer must do his or her part. They have to plant it. They have to water it. They have to nurture it. They have to pull up the weeds. They don't worry about how it happens. Well, similarly with you, in this idea of achieving your financial goals, you do your part. On a daily basis, you set aside and you monitor your progress each day. You hold your feet to the fire. You get an accountability partner. That's always helpful. You understand that it's an evolutionary process and be committed that every day and every way to get better and better. So let's recap now. Today, we've talked about how we achieve our financial goals, and we looked at 5 steps. Step one, to develop that wealth mindset, understanding the spiritual nature of wealth, the spiritual nature of money, that you don't make money, you attract money based on your consciousness. Number two, to know your numbers, to solve that riddle of survival so you know exactly what it takes for you to survive financially, to achieve financially, and to grow. Number three, set new goals based on your riddle of survival and develop a new budget that supports those goals. This is a critical step. Goals and budget work together. Step four, develop a plan of action, a daily plan of action, a moment to moment plan of action that confirms and conforms to your budget. Track your income, allocate your funds, execute your plan on a daily basis. Number five, to execute that action plan that you develop. To execute it with patience, knowing that everything has a season. To execute it with passion that goes back to your why it's important to achieve financial stability and security. Execute it with persistence. Thomas Edison said, the one who wins is the one who throws another blow. To always be committed, to persist, to hang in there, to never give up, and to operate in discipline, self-discipline, controlling your emotions, controlling your instincts, so that financial security is a main focus of your endeavors. That when you can do this, then you can constantly go and grow. As you go and grow, you stay in that learning mode always. When you stay in that learning mode, you get into that point of view now of, I know exactly what to do to get to the next point. And then you execute, execute, execute. Knowing that time, true wealth, is not about money. True financial security is not about material success. True financial security is about peace of mind. It's about good health. It's about love. And it's about personal fulfillment. So when you can do this, you become the master of money. You become the captain of your ship. And nothing is impossible. That you can truly be anything you want to be. You can truly do anything you desire. And you can truly have anything you wish. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Let's just take a deep breath for a moment. Let it out slowly. Thank you so much for being with us on Instagram. We appreciate you. Please share this broadcast with at least 3 other people and make some comments and tell how it's working for you on YouTube. Share this program with at least 3 other people and make some comments of how you're going to take this message and put it to work for you. Those of you on our Zoom, hold on as we get prepared for our discussion. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be sure to visit our website, www.herbertharris.com, and schedule a success consultation. Book a call with me